Today we're going to look at the most expensive MTG sweepers. Are they worth it? Well, I'd like to start off with the Oster command. Is that exactly how you're supposed to pronounce this thing? Whatever. Okay, it's a white 4 generic. It's a sorcery. Choose 2. Destroy all artifacts. Destroy all enchantments. Destroy all creatures with mana value 3 or less. Or destroy all creatures with mana value 4 or greater. You pick your poison. You know, you either blow up all the weaklings, or you take on the big guys at this, or you take on the big guys. You can't. Well, you can have both. So like, you can't have both. Of course, you can have both. This thing is actually a huge banger. It's actually an insane card. Amazing. It's basically mass, I don't know, disenchant to everything, or it's basically a Wrath of God. You don't lose here. All right, let's move on. Toads is early, so Toads gets in Garrick's Wake. Garrick not looking so good over here. He's looking hungry for maybe some brains. We have a black 7 generic sorcery. Destroy all creatures you don't control and all planeswalkers you don't control. This is an absolute one-sided board wipe. There's only one problem. It's actually incredibly expensive. 9 mana for a board wipe. I'm mostly destroying creatures anyway, but you know what? This is only one-sided. What would we want to pay? If we could play Damnation, how much more does it gonna cost? Is it gonna cost us? So it doesn't even touch our creatures. 9 mana, it's very expensive, but I always think it is worth it whenever it is a one-sided board wipe. All right, next up, let's look at Scott the Dark Knight and Jess Merchant's Farewell. Isn't this like a really popular card? Everyone knows this card. That's not to say it isn't powerful, because for 6 mana, we get to choose 1 or more. Hold on, isn't this strictly better than Oster command? All right, we can destroy all artifacts. Sorry, exile, not destroy. Exile all artifacts, exile all creatures, exile all enchantments, and exile all graveyards. This is strictly better than Oster command. This card sucks in comparison. This is basically like choose half of these things. Oh my goodness. All right, Farewell is actually broken. It's an insanely good card. And all these other cards are absolute crap. Why would you even have a second card after this? All right, Bryce asks, does Dimensional Breach count? Well, I mean, the title of the video is Most Mana Expensive MTG Sweepers. I don't know why this is complicated. Alright, we got a 7 mana sorcery. The Dimensional Breach. Remove all permanents from the game. It's quite the sweeper. As long as any of those cards remain removed from the game. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player returns one of the removed cards that they control, they own back to play. So, absolutely, I think this counts as a sweeper. It sweeped everything up. Now, the question is this worth it? You just got rid of all your lands. That's absolutely insane. Nobody has lands. This is like a weird upheaval, except not... It's sort of like upheaval on suspend, because you're gonna get the cards back once a turn, eventually, probably. This really delays the game for almost no reason. I don't know if it's worth it. Like, how do you use this? I'm trying to figure out, like, maybe there's some way, maybe there's a way of, like, winning the game between this and, what's it called? There's that enchantment that when it's on the battlefield and you have nothing left in your hand, graveyard, or whatever, you win the game, but I can't figure it out. I don't know. Someone has to prove it to me with Dimensional Breach. All right, next up, let's go with Scott the Dark Knight with the World Fire. I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it for sure. This is definitely a worth it card. At 9 mana, sorcery, exile all permanents. Exile cards from all hands and graveyards. Each player's life total becomes 1, and just fill your deck with anything that can ping people for 1. Enter the like they have even those lands. Land enters the battlefield, ping your opponent for 1. You're that's by one gigantic axe to the back, and then what finishes you off this is Little Needle. All right, next up, Wildfire is definitely worth it. Alpha Nerd, thank you very much for your super chat. Evening, Gix Command, very versatile. Gix Command, these are all commands. The fairy commands you, actually in this case, Gix's command commands you. We have a black 3 generic sorcery. Choose 2. Put 2+1/+1 counters on up to 1 creature. It gains lifelink until end of turn. That sucks. Okay, we could also destroy each creature with power 2 or less. That is good! At sorcery speed. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, or each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power among creatures they control. So you could actually blow everything up, like basically blow up all the little stuff, and then on top of that make everyone sacrifice the big stuff. I think this is worth it. 5 mana for all of this can be yours for 5 mana. Okay, control alt composer. Crisis of Conscience. Crisis. You know, I know it's Doctor Who, but as far as I can tell, this is Bilbo Baggins. Doesn't it look like Bilbo Baggins? I think it looks like Bilbo. Bilbo just realized he's got, I don't know, does he have the ring or does he have glasses in his hand? Whatever. Where's my ring? I lost my ring. Okay, moving on. White 4 generic for a sorcery. Choose 1. Destroy all tokens. Destroy all non-land, non-token permanents. We want to hate on the tokens and only 1? Destroy all non-land, non-token oh, I see. So you either go for the tokens or everything that's not a token. Excellent card for the token deck. Completely busted, really. He has no glasses. He can't see the ring. Where's my ring? I can't find it. Or maybe this is Golem. Before he went mad and crazy and basically skinless. Hairless. Disgusting. Okay, we got the Big Bone Records. Cleansing Nova. Cleansing Nova is for 5 mana sorcery. Choose 1. Destroy all creatures. Destroy all artifacts and enchantments. You can only choose 1, though. You know what? Is this worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. It, like, does its job. Like, it's not bad. Not really, it's gonna say that it's great, though. Okay, we got Meme Bruley with the Flood of Tears. Fun with my Giora EDH deck. So is there some context that can be missing here? This is a 6 mana sorcery. You return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. If you return 4 or more non-token permanents you control this way, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Ooh! This is like Upheaval, except you get a little one freebie. 1 on the house. It's like Upheaval plus Show and Tell. You may put a permanent card from your hand. Oh, I didn't say what permanent! Oh my goodness! Basically, it's like, okay, you return everything back to your hand. Okay, you can put a card back onto play, but it did not have to be a card that you actually return to your hand. If you return 4 more permanents you control this way, you can just plop like a giant Eldrazi or something. Wild. Okay, Turkey the Squirrel Child of Alara. Child of Alara, what? Oh yeah, creepy baby. Hold on, do I have a creepy baby sound effect? I don't know. You see a giant creepy baby, like what do? 5 mana for a 6/6 avatar, trample. When it dies, destroy all non-land permanents. They can't be regenerated. Now, as a creature, it's not bad. You know, it's okay. It's a 5 mana 6/6 with trample. Now, as a sweeper, it actually sucks. It's because you can't guarantee that it's gonna die. Now, if you're gonna play a 5 mana creature or a 5 mana card to sacrifice it to blow everything up, bit awkward. It's just awkward in my opinion. Henrik with the Massacre Girl. This is actually one of my favorite sweepers. Massacre Girl is insane! 5 mana 4/4 menace enters the battlefield. Each other creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. When a creature dies this turn, each creature other than Massacre Girl gets -1/-1 until end of turn. So basically, you kill off the token, and those tokens will help kill off the grizzly bears. But those grizzly bears will help kill off the beasts, and the beasts will kill the rhinos. The rhinos will kill, I think, what's a 5/5? An angel? I think angels are 4/4s or something. She's on a killing spree. Get it? Someone's got to do something about her. Okay, anyway, that's Massacre Girl's a great card. May not actually work though. May not actually work. Actually, should I really rethink about this card? It only is a good sweeper, but it's a good creature. You know what? I'm actually gonna say no. If there's no tiny things to die, this Massacre Girl actually does nothing. She'll just come into play, oh, and give everything -1/-1. So it requires a very specific board state. So I would say not worth it. Do X count? Absolutely X counts. X marks the spot. Thank you very much, John. We've now got the Bane of Progress. Bane of Progress is a 6-mana 2/2 elemental, and when it enters the battlefield, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Put a +1/+1 counter on Bane of Progress for each permanent destroyed this way. Interesting. So basically, I wipe out your Soul Ring, your Mox Diamond, Chrome Mox, Signets, all your treasure. Well, are you really going to let your treasures just die? You'll just sack it in response. Great card. Definitely guaranteed to blow everything up, and you get bigger along the way. That's exactly what the Bane of Progress was looking for. We did Worldfire Russ. We did Worldfire. All right, we got Chris Kiger with the Hour of Revelation. I actually got... Oh no, this is not the same one. Sorry. Think of another card. Okay, we got 6-mana sorcery. This spell costs 3 less to cast if there are 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield. So that means you can destroy all non-land permanents for free 3 mana. It was actually cheating. It's supposed to be most mana expensive sweepers for 5 CMC. This one got around it by being only 3 CMC. I think this is definitely worth it. In Commander, like, what are the odds there's going to be less than 10 non-land permanents? Not very good. The permanents stack up, like, there's like more than 10 non-land permanents in usually 2 turns. Termus says, let's do everyone's favorite, the Sunfall. Well, can't be my favorite. I never heard of this card until now. We got a 5-mana sorcery, exile all creatures. Then you get to incubate X, where X is the number of creatures exiled this way. So you got like a bunch of value. Transform this artifact. It transforms into a 0/0 Phyrexian artifact creature. Pretty bonkers card. It's like, okay, exile everything. Okay, I get a bunch of creatures now. They're all mine. In some way or form. Steve Cooper! Donating to 3 people. Thanks so much, Steve Cooper. Do you know who could really use that? Someone to foresee, that's who. Fortunate few. Fortunate Few is a 5-mana sorcery. Choose a non-land permanent you don't control. Then each other player chooses a non-land permanent they don't control that hasn't been chosen this way, and you destroy all the non-land permanents. Yes! I like it! Because if you have one gigantic creature that you know that can outclass the best permanent of all your opponent's permanents that they keep, this is what you want. Just make sure you have something big out. If you don't, you might screw yourself. Okay, now we have a bunch. Okay, Chenfred wants Guan's use. This is the second super chat. 1000 Lee March. I don't even know what this is. 6 mana. Destroy all tapped creatures. This is terrible. This is beyond sad. What if they're not tapped? What if they have vigilance? What if they're untapped? This is such a situational card. And it's 6 mana for this damn thing. Ah, you attacked me. You have activated my trap card. The Guan Yu's 1000 Lee March, which lets me destroy all your tapped creatures. Do you regret? You better regret. Okay, we got the amazing Crack Monkey with the Kindred Dominance. 7 mana sorcery, choose a creature type, destroy all creatures that aren't of the chosen type. So basically, if you're vampires, if you're zombies, if you're demons, this is definitely going to be worth it for you. One-sided board wipe, always excellent. It's not even instant. Oh yeah, the last one, yeah, absolutely complete joke. Guan Yu's 1,000 Lee March. Getting laughed out of here. Okay, do we have a super chat? I think we have one super chat. We'll give it to Christopher B. Life's Finale. Life's Finale is a 6-mana sorcery. Destroy all creatures. Then search target opponent's library for up to 3 creature cards and put them into his or her graveyard. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Why are we... Is this some sort of like weird anti-combo deck? We blow up the creatures, then we search target opponent's library for up to 3 creature cards. So it's like we destroy not only the creatures that were in play, also the creatures in your deck. I don't like it, honestly. I really don't know what the great point of this damn thing is, but it's basically a 6-mana sweeper, and we can do better than that. Alright, back to the super chats. We got Alpha Nerd with Farewell, standard staple. Problem is we already did Farewell, right? Yeah. Someone sniped you since the beginning of the show. That's okay, because we're going to donate it to Turn 1 Missed Land Drop. Love the name. In Garrick's Wake. Oh damn it, we did that one already. Do we have anything that hasn't been done yet? Magnum Opus Gold with Blasphemous Act. 9 mana sorcery, but it's going to cost 1 less for each creature on the battlefield. So if there's a lot of creatures that are a problem, Blasphemous Act will deal 13 damage to each of them. And it's all over. Next freebie. Oh boy, everything comes to dust. We've got a 10 mana. 10. Sorcery with Convoke. Your creatures can help cast this spell. Each creature you tap while casting this spell pays for one or more mana of that creature's color. Exile all creatures, except those that share a creature type with a creature that can invoke this spell. All artifacts and all enchantments. Okay, so we're blowing up all the creatures that are not the ones, or even shared the ones that we use to convoke this thing in play. Yeah, I think I can get behind this. It might be a little gimmicky, but on the other hand, you also destroy all the artifacts and enchantments. You could cast this for 0. It could be for free. It's actually quite interesting in that regard. How many token decks are taking over the EDH metagame? Probably not many. Okay, oh yeah, like Pedgman says, talking about all dust, all is dust. All is dust is broken. It's literally like a 7-mana generic sweeper. Literally anyone can play it. And each player sacrifices all permanents they control that are 1 or more colors. So basically anything that matters. You can keep some of your mana. You get to keep your Soul Ring, your Mana Crypts, and stuff like that. But basically anything that you would use to defend yourself or attack your opponents, it's gone. It's easily one of the absolute tippy-top best sweepers of all time. You cast this thing, disappoints the opponent big time. Gets around indestructible too, that's right, because it forces them to sacrifice. Used to be in play and now it's not. All is Dust is probably the sorcery I have in most decks because it's so versatile. But why are you not playing All is Dust in your deck? Do you have a good reason? Do you have an excuse? That's right, you don't. You get that thing back in your deck. You know, it used to be expensive. I remember there was a time that it was, I don't know, $15, $20. It's $4 now. You have absolutely no excuses. You buy your All is Dust today. Okay, next super chat we've got from Ecos. Thank you so much, Ecos. Garrick's Way. That's the third goddamn time we've seen this. You're the third person to suggest this card, Ecos. It's not your fault. Okay, let's donate it to Bojack Yellow, Realm Cloak Giant. Realm Cloak Giant is a 7 mana 7/7 creature. That's terrible, right? Like, what kind of raid is that? Okay, but it's got Cast Off for 5 mana. Destroy all non-giant creatures. As much as I like one-sided board wipes, I don't think giants are... I don't know if there's enough giants to make this card good. I'm gonna say, actually, this is a pass. Okay, next up, let's take a look at... Zarthur with Star of Extinction taken. Nope. The dinosaurs, they didn't see it coming. 7 mana sorcery. Destroy target land. Star of Extinction deals 20 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Honestly, I'm not particularly excited about this card. It's basically 7 mana to probably blow everything up. But I don't know. Sometimes the creature's gonna be bigger than 20. What if it goes to 30 or 40 because of counters and proliferate and like doubling the counters? You ever think about that? Well, I think about that. Anyway, Star of Extinction, I don't think it's worth it. It's basically a 7 mana, probably a sweeper. Not that you even need to destroy their lands at 7 mana. Tom Squire says, since we're doing giants, looks like Tom wants to make a point here. Desolation Giant. Desolation Giant is a 4 mana 3/3 giant with a kicker of double white. When it enters the battlefield, destroy all other creatures you can all other creatures you control. If it was kick, destroy. Oh, I was like, when it enters the battlefield, destroy all creatures I control. What is going on here? How is that strategically relevant? I thought that was the kicker for some reason. You know, it's the proximity is too close. Desolation, that sounds almost AI generated. For a kicker of double white, when it enters the battlefield, you can destroy all your creatures. Say goodbye to them. Okay, no, it's just enters the battle. The front side is terrible because it's a 4 mana 3/3 and you blow all your stuff up. And like even on an empty board, which would be ideal, I don't think a 4 mana 3/3 is that good. And then we have for 6 mana, if it was kick, destroy all other creatures instead. I don't know. Hey, what's with that shield? Looks like something from The Legend of Zelda. Is there an ocarina in here? Does anyone see the ocarina? Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Okay, I gotta make an executive decision. I don't like it. I don't like it for what it does. 6 mana for a 3/3 and blow everything else up. It's basically just a regular sweeper. Next up, we've got John. Thank you very much for your super chat. The World Slayer. Yes. We've got the sword. The Sword of the World Slayer. It's an equipment. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy all permanents other than World Slayer, including the very thing that activated this thing. Activated the sword. That is just amazing. You hit your opponent and then you just blow up. You get incinerated. It doesn't even say the creature is indestructible. Probably it should say so. The power of the sword has killed its host. Now the sword waits very patiently for a new host. Love World Slayer with Avacyn. Destroy everything apart from your board. Yeah, I see where you're going there, Ecos. I see where you're going. Now, is this card any good? I don't like it. Like, yeah, it's got its combos, but literally, what's it saying? It says it's gonna destroy you. That's not part of the plan. You want to win with the creatures, not whose side are you on anyway? Is this really on your side or your opponent's? Steve Cooper says, weird World Slayer. It's weird that World Slayer isn't legendary. I don't blame you. You can have several World Slayers, apparently. This isn't like Thor's hammer. Absolute meme card, but fun to build around. Yeah, have fun. Okay, we got Turkey, Amazing Crack Monkey with Terminus. Whoops. Terminus is a 6-mana sorcery to put all creatures on the bottom of their owner's library. But here's 6 mana for that. Maybe it's not worth it, but let me sweeten the deal. If you do it at the beginning of your turn, right now, or next turn, or the turn after that, you can miracle it into play. For a single white, you may cast this card for its miracle cost, and when you draw it, if it's the first card you drew this turn. Let's not forget that it's not going to be all random luck. You're going to stack your deck with this card in some way or form. Either you're going to surveil it to the top, or scry it, or brainstorm, ponder, whatever. You pick your poison. But this thing is almost always costing 1 mana. Okay, next up we've got Ecos with the Jackal Hops. It's pure evil in an Enchantress deck. Jackal Hops. It is a 6-mana sorcery to destroy all artifacts, creatures, and lands. They can't be regenerated. In red, I actually think this is worth it. It does more than just destroying the creatures, so it's a sweeper for the creatures, sweeper for the lands, and also a sweeper for the artifacts. If you play, so you have like some room to actually build around this card, whether you want to be playing very massively with enchantments or even with planeswalkers, because those are 2 card types that it doesn't touch. Pronounced with a Y sound. Jackal Hypes. Is that what you're talking about? Joe Cool Hypes. Gotta hype it up here. Next up, Starfire Dragon with the Massacre Worm. 6 mana, 6/5. Enters the battlefield. Creatures opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, they'll... Oh my goodness, they're losing life. They lose 2 life for that loss. That's awful. This card's insane. It's actually broken. I mean, if your opponent has like a token deck, they might just die on the spot. Whenever it's like some sort of like one-sided or like half of Blood Artist, but it's bigger. And it's not a reliable sweeper, but when it sweeps, it's really gonna put the screws to your life total. I'll just say that right now. Oh, Yokel Hops? Yokel? Yokelele-hee-hoo. Maybe that's where it's coming from. Okay, Termis. White Sun's Zenith. Oh, sorry. Twilight. White Sun's Twilight. It's pretty solid for blue-white control in standard, I think, but I don't see it played often. Probably because it's a white-white X, which is not, it probably doesn't make it a very good sweeper. You gain X life. Create X 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. If X is 5 or more, destroy all creatures. I like it! Like, it's basically what, like a 7-mana sweeper? It's like a 7-mana one-sided sweeper that lets you put creatures in play and gain a little bit of life. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone likes life. Just like the game of life. And with that, we're going to thank today's sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com. Is there a new deal of the week this week? There is a new deal every single week. That's why you got to stay in tune with the deal of the week. And it is 15% off Karlov Manor singles. Oh my god, the Surveil lands. They are busted. Is anyone playing them in their commander decks? Basically, it turns every single fetch into a potential scry? Well, no, it actually technically every fetch turns into a Surveil. But you're digging for what you want, or you dig for the lands that you need. And now you can get them all for 15% off at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Managers, the premier place for renting Magic cards on Magic the Gathering Online. Prepare for your next big event by not just playtesting one deck, but all of them. And only then, in the end, you will know exactly what you should be prepared for. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_ZUE. Sorry, ZUE. ZUE for the Americans out there. And back to our regularly scheduled program. Go on, where are we here? Okay, who hasn't got a card yet? I feel like there's like 6 people here. Ad time? Yep, that's right. It's ad time. Okay, I'm not sure if Henrik got something. Invasion of Fiora? Okay, this is it. The Invasion. 6 mana. Enters the battlefield. Choose one or more. Destroy all legendary creatures. Destroy all non-legendary creatures. Also has 4 mana for the battle. Ooh, it turns into Murchiza. Resolute Monarch. The 3/6 human noble with Menace Death Touch. And whenever it attacks, remove all counters from up to 1 target permanent. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you haven't been dealt combat damage since your last turn, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. I like this card. The front half is not so bad, and also, like, if you say, when enters the battlefield, choose 1 or more. If you destroy all the creatures your opponents have, whether it be legendary or not, they're not going to be able to defend the Invasion of Fiora. Okay, we got Zach Doe with the Hour of Devastation. That's exactly what I was thinking earlier. First super chat. Hello, crew. Welcome, Zach. The first super chat is the most important super chat. This starts your super chatting journey on this channel. For a red 3 generic sorcery, all creatures lose indestructible. Oh, if you thought you were indestructible, well, think again. Hour of Devastation deals 5 damage to each creature and each non-bolus planeswalker. You hear that, fellas? You know, they want you to, like, build around this thing. You know, make a bolus deck. It's just a little hint. Play with as many bolus planeswalkers as you want. They're not going to be destroyed. You know what's funny? This will kill a bolus creature. Maybe it needs to do a little bit more damage, perhaps. Just a little bit more damage. Matt with Fated Retribution. 7 mana instant, destroy all creatures and planeswalkers, and if it's your turn, you get to scry 2. Not impressive. It's like literally 7 mana, blow everything up. Scry 2, not enough down, like, compensation here. Can I not draw some cards? Can I keep one of my planeswalkers? Can I keep one of my creatures? No? Well, then you go into the discard pile. Fated Retribution is not welcome around here. Okay, we got Alpha Nerd. Blight Grenade. Oops. Okay. Blight Grenade is it's a 5 mana sorcery. Destroy target creature, and then all creatures get -3/-3 until end of turn. So you need a creature to target with this, or like the other effect doesn't even happen. If it is so bad, if it is so devastating, because this thing only has 1 target, and if you can counter the target, let's say you come attack my creature with this thing. You want to destroy my Master of Waves. I could kill my own Master of Waves in response. Then what are you gonna do? Or I bounce it or something. And if this has no target, then the all -3/-3 thing just isn't gonna work. Not a fan. Don't like it. Sleepy Ninja. When's the next custom card stream on Reddit? It's always every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. I think it's gonna be this. I think it's gonna be this Wednesday. Bojack Yellow. If mass bounce counts, then upheaval. Yep. Upheaval's a good one. 6 mana sorcery. Return all permanents to their owner's hands. Everything go boing, effectively. Once you have your stuff, it's like, let's reset the game. Except you have the advantage of going first. You basically steal first. And then everyone's going to have to curve out with the most powerful things possible. Idamas, don't move. It's Guan Yu, but better. Are you serious? Oh my god, it's the dinosaur thing, right? Welcome to Jurassic Park. Spare no expense. This guy had a multi-million dollar, it's probably multi-billion dollar operation on an island with the most sophisticated genetic these genetic engineering scientists. Had only one IT guy. That's it, one guy. That one computer guy was gone, and they were absolutely up shit's creek. All of a sudden, Jurassic Park didn't work so well now, did it? Goddamn computer couldn't even restart properly. Okay, let's pay attention to what the card actually says. White, 3 generic sorcery. Destroy all tap creatures. Until your next turn, whenever a creature becomes tapped, destroy it. Ooh, I like it. So, it's a slight variation on the last card that looked like this. Because until your next turn, if you want to tap a creature, it just gets blown up. That being said, you can't force them to tap their creatures. Well, not by any reasonable measure. Maybe you can. Oh, all of a sudden, I'm going to play Don't Move. And then I'm going to twiddle your creatures. How about that? I think there's also a card that's like, make your opponents, like, tap X number of creatures from your opponents, and that would be pretty good. Okay, next up. Anyway, so I don't think this one's worth it. Rubbish. Absolute trash. Alpha Nerd, let the galaxy burn. Thank you very much for your super chat. Let the galaxy burn is a X. Whoa, X5, X. Sorry, it's a red 5X card with sorcery and cascade. Let the galaxy burn deals X plus 2 damage to each creature that didn't enter the battlefield this turn. Damage to each creature that did not. How does this work? Deals X plus 2 damage to each creature that didn't enter the battlefield this turn. So basically, this is another one of those, like, wiping the board things, but it's gonna also wipe up your stuff as well. Okay, so anyway, I think no. I don't know, I think it's a bit random. I don't like it. Yes, the cascade scales with the X. Yeah, I can see that. You X big, and you also, I mean, if you have, the thing is, it starts at 6. You get 6 to cascade for 0. How much more mana? If you have like 10 mana in play, this is just awful. Or I mean, will be fine if you have 10 mana, but you need 10 mana. This technically could be the most expensive on this list. I heard you wanted a sweeper, so here's a sweeper that sweeps and resweeps. The Decree of Annihilation. Annihilating each other over and over again. Okay, we have 10 mana sorcery. Remove all artifacts, creatures, lands, graveyards, and hands from the game. You can also cycle it. You can cycle it for 7 mana. When you cycle Decree of Annihilation, you also destroy all the lands. Too much. That's too much. You know, there's a limit. Basically, for 10 mana, I wanted to say, destroy all creatures and you win the game. That's basically what I wanted to say at 10 mana. If it does anything less than that, I don't like it. Even at 7 mana, you draw a card and blow up everyone's land. Now, the funny thing is, that's instant speed. You don't have to wait for you don't have to wait until your turn. Pass the turn, 7 mana up. You, like, just go, Decree of Annihilation for 7 mana. Destroy all lands. They won't see it coming. Okay, next up, we've got Ecos Hellfire, named after my favorite Disney villain song. I do not even know what Hellfire is. Okay, 5 mana sorcery. Destroy all non-black creatures. Hellfire deals X damage plus 3 damage to you, where X is the number of creatures put into all graveyards this way. What? Destroy all non-black creatures. Oh, I see. So it's like a delayed trigger of some sort. So first, step 1, destroy all the non-black creatures. All right, all red, blue, green, and white to the graveyard. Then it'll deal X plus 3 damage to you. Me? What did I do? where X is the number of creatures put into a graveyard this way. This is terrible. No. I don't want the sweeper to potentially kill me. This looks like seppuku. Like, it reads seppuku written all over it. Okay, next up, let's go. I guess let's give another one to Toads. The Plague Wind. Plague Wind, 9 mana, destroy all creatures you don't control. They can't be regenerated. I like it. Very expensive, but, you know, again, you know, okay, in a board stall, I got a big army, you got a big army, you got a big army, you got a big army. Until now, the Plague Wind says, well, only I get the army. You guys get nothing, and you're going to enjoy it. Settlebelt, Living Death. Pretty close to Living End. Hold on, no, Living Death has to be 5 mana. Living End is illegal. Living Death's 5 mana. Each player exiles all creature cards from their graveyards, then sacrifices all creatures they control, then puts all cards exiled this way onto the battlefield. A little cheatsy-weetsy around the graveyard, hey, because there's technically exiling from the graveyard, and then basically sort of just being summoned at will to the battlefield. Next super chat we got from Alpha Nerd. Thank you very much, Alpha Nerd. I really appreciate it. For Mari's Eliminator. I didn't know we needed to eliminate the Prismari. Oh, sorry, this is not Prismari. Primaris Eliminator. I read Prismari. All right. I didn't sleep much over the weekend. Nikachu need a big nap tonight. King Ginger says, I didn't know there was a show tonight. Look, I left the community tab a message, damn it. A very good by the way, for everyone, if it doesn't look like the show is happening on schedule, always check the community tab and look at the latest community note. And I made a big warning that there's going to be a big schedule changed. You know what you did, King Ginger? You just proved to me that when the show is over, you leave instantaneously. Because for the last 4 days of last week, I mentioned all that I was doing with this show. That there was going to be a late show on Monday because of my trip. Okay, that's okay. Okay, we have a 5-mana 3/2 Astartes Warrior. Enters the battlefield, you can only choose one. Destroy target creature. That's not even a sweeper. And Hyper Fang Round. Creatures target player controls get -2/-2 until end of turn. This is like a pretty big stinker. 5 mana for a 3/2 that can sort of blow something up. Against token decks, I guess the -2/-2 is going to be insanely important. But other than that, is this worth it? No, it's just a 3 to attach to that thing. I don't like it. Not worth it. Okay, next super chat we got from Russ. Dirge of the Dryads. Is it called Dirge? Okay, I'm gonna look at the other way. Of the Dryads. Okay, I don't know what this thing is. What the hell is a Dirge? Dirge. Help us, Coffee Crew, help us. Is it Dirge of the Dead? Maybe it's Dirge of the Dead. No, this is 3 mana. Discordant Dirge? Sacrifice, look at the target opponent's hand. That player discards those cards. Okay, I don't know what this is. I'm sorry if I cannot figure out what this super chat is. So we're going to donate the super chat to... Let's give it to Old Boy with the Warp World. Warp World, for 8 mana sorcery, each player shuffles all permanents they own into their library, then reveals that many cards from the top of their library. Each player puts all artifact, creatures, and land cards revealed this way onto the battlefield, then does the same for enchantment cards. Then puts all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield on the bottom of their library. I have no idea what's going on here. And probably no one even knows what's going on as this card resolves. So, hold on, we shuffle all the permanents back into the deck, then we... actually, okay, I understand. So you just, like, keep revealing... If I put 10 cards in my deck, then I will put 10 cards onto the battlefield. Assuming they're artifact, creatures, and lands revealed this way. So no cheating with the Planeswalkers. Also, additionally, I don't know if Planeswalkers even existed when Warp World came out. So Warp World is like a red Great Aurora? Could be. If you want to interpret it like that. We did play Gwen, Pacers fan forever. Okay, and now this card, not worth it. I think this card is just weird. You're basically gambling with your future. King Ginger with Fracturing Gusts. Fracturing Gust. 5 mana, instant, destroy all artifact and enchantments. You gain 2 life for each. You gain 2 life for each permanent destroyed this way. Imagine if your opponent was locked away from playing all their, sacking their treasures, and then you play the Fracturing Gust. Good source of life gain and still destroys all artifacts and enchantments. I think it's worth it. Even though, Farewell would be 1 more mana, but Farewell don't gain life. Could you... Okay, let's say each player at the table has at least 2 artifacts out. At least! If you crack this thing, it's like 8 times 2. You gain 16 life. Okay, who's next? Sleep Ninja, Bear of the Heavens. Bear of the Heavens is an 8 mana 10/10, and if it dies, destroy all permanents at the beginning of the next end step. Don't let it go, Bear of the Heavens. Don't let it go. But still, it's too expensive. You get a, I get... Okay, first off, it's a crappy sweeper. It's not guaranteed at all. You literally need to kill your Bearer of the Heavens before it does anything. It's 8 mana for a 10/10 creature. How desperate are we here? Next up. Russ. Dirge. Oh, no, hold on. This is the super chat that I couldn't figure out, and I had to give it away. Okay, Cunning Linguist. Hope your weekend was enjoyable at work. So donation to chat. All right, this is worth 2 donations. This is all on Cunning Linguist. Cunning Linguist is it's on... What's not on the house? 2 donations, please. Avatar Voice says, Nikachu hates doing Night Crew. What are you doing, Nikachu? I don't mind Night Crew. Night Crew, there's nothing wrong with Night Crew. Next up. Where's their... Toilet Duck has a great snow card. Okay, let's look for Toilet Duck. We've got the Sun Scour. Sun Scour is a 7 mana sorcery. You may you can remove 2 white cards from your hand from the game rather than pay Sun Scour's mana cost. Destroy all creatures. Basically, despite you literally destroy your hand. Yeah, allow me to throw away 3 cards from my hand in order to blow up, I don't know how many that you've got. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. Not really thrilled. If it was 1 other card, yeah, very likely, probably. At the end of the day, do you need to toss away 3 whole cards to have a Wrath of God? It was free, but at what cost? You have got to pay with time or you pay with resources. So I guess you wanted to pay with resources this time around. Chows with Phyrexian Rebirth, Mr. Nikachu. 6 mana sorcery. Destroy all creatures, then create an XX colorless Phyrexian Horror artifact creature token, where X is the number of creatures destroyed this way. It's not bad. I honestly don't know if I would play this thing, but it basically, you kill 20 things, you get a 20/20 creature. This thing scales significantly as there are more creatures on the battlefield. And if you as you have more friends that play with more creatures. Almond with blood money. Wait, did we have a second super chat? I don't know. Didn't look. Okay, 7 mana sorcery. Destroy all creatures for each non-token creature destroyed this way. You create a tapped treasure token. What do we need these treasures for, though? It's turn 7. I mean, it doesn't have to be turn 7. Maybe for each destroy all creatures. For each non-token creature destroyed this way, you create a tap treasure token, so you can't use it immediately. Blood money, not worth it. Because I said so. Okay, hold on. For Steve Cooper's donation, I'm going to donate one more, because I don't think I caught it. We did White Sun's Twilight. We did World Fire. We've done Child of Alara. We did not do Nova Blast Worm, which is a 7-mana 7/7 worm that when it... Holy crap! You attack and you destroy other creatures? You do this every turn! This is absolute bonkers! The sun was born within its coils, but it fled to the sky. The worm hunger for its child, and the world will bear its loss. Screed of the Moldiah. This card is just completely insane. Now what you have to do... Oh, you don't have to give it indestructible, but just make it indestructible so that it can keep attacking at will. Okay, what's up next? Xavier! Azuri's Predation? 8 mana sorcery. For each creature your opponents control, create a 4/4 green Phyrexian Beast creature token. Each of those tokens fights a different one of those creatures. But the problem is you probably aren't going to turn it into a sweeper. Like, even for 8 mana, I don't think... That's, like, not a guaranteed sweeper at all. What if they have an Eldrazi in play? Actually, how does fight work? Can I gang up on a single Eldrazi with a 4/4? With, like, a million 4/4s? Does 3 4/4s take down... Do 3 4/4s take down a single 10/10 Eldrazi? That's what we need to know. I'm asking the real questions around here. Alright, Steve Cooper. What do you got? Arcanus wants Ruinous Ultimate. You're such a great guy, Steve Cooper. There is a nice soft cloud in heaven for you. Ruinous... Oh, Ultimatum. Okay, Ruinous Ultimatum. We have a black, white, white, red sorcery. Destroy all non-land permanents! Your opponent's control. Yeah, that's insane. I mean, it's not even your other creatures. It's like, there's a one-sided board wipe for everything that's not creatures. And creatures. The creatures and not creatures. You get rid of their... I mean, you remember a Farewell? Like, it's blow up all artifacts, enchantments, creatures, blah, blah, blah. This one is, okay, you wipe that board clean. Alright? Don't waste anything. We are not putting this plate back until it is spick and span. I like this card. I like this card a lot. Very Mardu-like anyway. Okay, we have another super chat from Ratza. Thank you very much, Ratza. Alpha Brawl feels weird. Have you played against it? Is that what it means? Okay, they've got, it's a 8 mana sorcery. Target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to each other creature that player controls. Then each of those creatures deal damage equal to its power to that creature. Isn't this just like a one-on-one fight thing? So it's like target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to each other creature that player controls. Oh, that is weird. Hold on. They're fighting each other. You gotta break it up. Then each of those creatures deal damage equal to its power to that creature. So one creature deals damage to one. No, to everything. Target creature and opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. I get... It's a weird board wipe. And it's not even guaranteed to kill anything. Which is actually like a really, really, really big problem. So I think it's 8 mana. This is not worth it at all. This is brutal. Next up, your friendly neighborhood idiot. Karn Liberated. The ultimate ability. Okay, we'll go straight to it. For 14 loyalty, which is possible to get to. It's like 2 activations, and you're at 14. Restart the game, leaving in exile all non-aura permanent cards exiled with Karn liberated. Then put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. I do think this is worth it. Even for the ultimate ability, which is rarely played. It happens, but it's rare. Also, not to mention the ultimate ability lets you survive some really sticky situations that you would normally die in. It's like, well, I have no chance of winning this game. We must reset the game. We're going to restart the game, and I'm going to have everything that I stole from you from exile. I'm going to start the game with it. Chow says, All of Dust, if it hasn't come up, I lost to it multiple times in my commander group. All of Dust, we've already done that one. I have also lost to it many times in my commander group. I have also lost to it many times in Modern. Side Bell, Emrakul, The World Anew. Oh, God. New Spaghetti Monster has been found. Okay, we have a 12 mana 12/12 Eldrazi. When you cast this spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. Flat. And you might wonder, how the hell do you get this thing in play? Well, it's got Madness, and you pay 6 mana for it. 6 colorless. Now, some people have been joking that, like, Tron lands plus the Underworld Cookbook. I mean, this is what you're gonna cheat Emrakul, The World Anew in play. And it still's got flying, still got protection from spells from permanents that were cast this turn. But remember, when it leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all the creatures you control. So basically, steals them. She steals them and then eats them, effectively. When she leaves with takeout. Nikachu, you missed my super chat, did I? Maybe I did. Hold on. What super chat? You have a super chat here? I don't see it in my inventory. Maybe I didn't even get a super chat. I didn't get one. Actually, to be honest, these are all the super chats in the queue. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. I don't see it. I just don't see it, unfortunately. $5 from a while ago? I got no $5 from a while ago. Unless I screwed this up. I'll quickly look for you. Where's green? No, this is the only $5 super chat I have. Now it starts going really deep in the past. I don't think your super chat went through. That's the only problem. I'm gonna move on. You can rewind the video. Yeah, just submit the card anyway. Just give it to us. But I don't have a super chat, that's for sure. Okay, Almond. Hold on, Almond with Exterminatus? Exterminatus. 7 mana. Sorcery, non-land permanents your opponents control lose indestructible until end of turn. Then you get to destroy all non-land permanents. Oh, so this is like some answer for the indestructible creatures. Non-land permanents your opponents control lose indestructible. But then we're still blowing up everything on our side. For 7 mana? Oops. I guess it's okay. Oops. Move up. Move up. You know what? Screw it. I don't like it. Kill it. You know, at 7 mana, if it wipes my opponent's side of the board and keeps my stuff, I'm fine. If this thing's gonna blow up my stuff, no, it's not good. Especially if I might even want to play the indestructible creatures myself. That is very much possible. I'll destroy my own indestructible creatures. Okay, next is Super Chat Central. Alpha Nerd with Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Does it count? Absolutely, this thing counts. Blown me out a billion times. It's an 8 mana 7 loyalty Ugin with +2. Ugin the Spirit Dragon deals 3 damage to any target. In fact, I lost to this card at least once last weekend. -X. Exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less. That's 1 or more colors. And also -10. You gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, and then put up to 7 permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield. This card is insane. Excellent banger card. Love it. Alpha Nerd with the evacuation. Exactly what I'm thinking when I need to take a gigantic dump. I need an evacuation. 5 mana instant. Now, return all creatures to their owner's hands. That's it? I don't know. I don't like it. It's not even a permanent, like, it's like a, it's not exactly a crappier Aetherize, because you definitely bounce all the stuff to hand. But, like, and it's instant. Even the more I think about this, the more I like it. Because you instant speed return at the end of your opponent's, the person to your right, and then you can freely attack after that. For 1 full rotation. I don't know. I just don't like the feel of this card. I could be wrong about it, though. Okay, King Ginger with the Grim Gigantosaurus. Alright, we got a dinosaur here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 7 mana 10/10 dinosaur. This thing's insane. 12 mana monstrosity 10. The ability costs 1 less to activate for each creature with power 4 or greater. Okay. Your opponent's control? Then they might not have anything in play. When Grim Gigantosaurus becomes monstrous, destroy all artifacts and creatures other than the Grim Ginormosaurus. That's what I'm just going to call it. Pretty good card, I think. The Nikachu, submit a card. Anything? Anything at all? No, I guess nothing. Okay, next up. The Great Aurora. Great Aurora! You mean this card that I have like 20 copies of and is still like 62 cents? Green, 6 generic for sorcery. Each player shuffles all cards from their hand and all permanents they own into their library, then draws that many cards. Each player may put any number of land cards from their hand onto the battlefield, then you exile the Great Aurora. Nah, I think this is quite a bit of a stinker. You shuffle all the cards from their hand and all permanents. Then you draw that many cards, which is going to be a lot of cards, and you put all our lands onto the battlefield. It's basically like just resetting like the game. It's like a more expensive upheaval. I don't like it. Psychopath next door. All right, first time super, long time viewer, donate. Thank you very much, Psychopath next door. So who's gonna get the donation? We'll give it to Wes that plays Magic, Scourge of the Fleets. The Fleets. Scourge of the something. Scourge of the Throne? I don't think this card exists. Okay, hold on. If it attacks for the first time each turn, if it's attacking the player with the most life or tapped to the most untap. No, this isn't it. Okay, we're gonna donate the super chat then to Surefire Selves. Call forth the Tempest. It's an 8 mana sorcery with a Cascade. Well, it's definitely gonna be worth it after that. Call forth the Tempest, deals damage to each creature opponents control equal to the total mana value of other spells you've cast this turn. Unbelievable. So, I mean, it's gonna deal at least 2 damage if you hit 2 1/1s. Very, very, very good card. I like it. Cascade. So it's like creature, and then whoosh, sweep the board. We got a clean house here. WTF. Why are you streaming at this time of the day? For anyone watching the replay, it's like 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Because sometimes we stream at night, especially if I'm not here in the morning and I had a flight to catch in the morning. For Ginka, it's like, I woke up 3 a.m. 10 minutes ago. See you online. Might as well suggest Angrath, Minotaur Pirate. Okay, we got a 6 mana Planeswalker, 5 loyalty. Deals 1 damage to target opponent and each creature that player controls. Also, -3 return target pirate card from your graveyard to your hand. -11. Destroy all creatures target opponent controls. And Angrath deals damage to that player equal to their total power. Well, you're going to hit him in the face really hard. So what are the odds of you pulling this off? +2, so +2 to 7, 9, 11. Then you got spend a turn to go -11. I think this card, not good as a sweeper. Good enough to play, but not good as a sweeper at all. A little too expensive. Ratza, Doomwake Giant. Here, I'll give you a nice super chat sound effect. Love these old Theros constellations. Yep, it's 5 mana 4/6 giant with constellation. Whenever Doomwake Giant or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, creatures your opponent's control get -1/-1 until end of turn. It's only until end of turn, though. This is not like a good sweeper. The card is okay. If I remember correctly, a long time ago, I got destroyed by this thing. You just play... The turn it comes into play, it's probably not going to do very much, but on your opponent's following turn, like enchantment, and then basically you've wiped the board. But it's not really guaranteed to wipe the board. It can only hit small things. A lot of work to turn on. Not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's version of Coffee and MTG. That's it for today. But there's always another day, because they happen at weekdays, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show or help other people be part of the show. And we have to thank the coffee crew for showing up today. Or should I, the coffee crew or the hot cocoa crew here in the evening. People like Big Bone Records, Christopher B, we got Chen Fred, Someone24C, Nahul Bianca, Pedgeman, Orcanis Ultra, Avatar of Woe, Satabel, Toads, Rugal, Old Boy, Sleepy Ninja, Ferginka, Raphael, Steve Cooper, Starfire Dragon, Arcanis Ultra, anyone else I'm missing here? Alpha Nerd, because you guys are the show. So as usual, my hot cocoa crew, keep brewing up them cocos, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.